Amazing. Star Wars Andor, gets political because, of course, every show that has any kind of remote sense to it decides to get political. We are talking about scam calls this week and the insane 70 million plus increase this year in scam robocalls. We got a little sneak peek into Ezra Millers Compound, and just so you know, anyone that calls their property a compound is probably insane. Also, Star Trek.
Where's Michael?
Star Trek 4 has officially been, I guess, delayed inevitably. We're going to talk about that and our video. And someone at Trek Central said Star Trek needs to be more like Star Wars, and I physically felt sick to my stomach. We're talking about the latest She-Hulk episode, the Weekly Terry, some information that you don't want to miss, and our weekly Superman Watch 2022. That is the show today, folks. And just in case, one more bit of information, half of that will not be here on Unleashed, but instead in the members section. So, about halfway through, we go, hey guys, we're going to the members section. And the link, you can find that link in the description if you just want to head over there and watch the full show now. But regardless, we're happy you're here. Thank you for coming every week to hang out with us and talk about nonsense. And now I'm going to stop talking because I think I'm rambling. Shane, please save me from this.
Well, hey guys. All right. Happy Thursday. No, I thought, Brian, you broke it down excellently today. Very professional, very straightforward, not crazy at all. But what do we do?
Not crazy at all.
Not crazy at all. But what we do have this crazy is welcome Kathleen Kennedy to the chat. Nice. We've got Kathleen Kennedy here. We've got Doomed Huh.
Who is invoking my name?
We've got Kenneth LaRoque, Anthony Mark, Chuck A, Archmage Frey, who I think was Kathleen Kennedy, actually. Mexican Iron Man, and Anima Confusa. John Burns, thank you all for being here. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody. It's going to be a fun Thursday today, Brian.
It is. It's going to be a phenomenal Thursday.
Got so many things to talk about. We got a new video out on the Popcast Prime channel. And I see John Burns wants to talk a little bit of football. We'll quickly just say, because we have, of course, the Popcast fantasy football thing going on here. And currently right now, the Mad Cows are in first place with the Dog Pound. And looks like Brian, you and I are both 2-1, so we're like right back there with Danny the Dork Knight. So John, who's here,
does that mean we're losing?
That means no, we're 2-1, so we're like in second place tied.
See, fantasy football is so weird. I didn't know if it worked like backwards, like other things. Like golf. When you get a really high score in golf, that means you've lost.
Oh, I see. Gotcha. Yeah, you don't want a high score in golf for sure. But in fantasy football, you want as many wins as you can get. And right now, I got John Burns in the chat. I don't see anybody else here, but John's rocking 1-2. So, John, you got some work to do this week, man. So,
yeah, good luck.
Let's keep it going.
I'm bringing the heat. I literally haven't logged in 2 weeks. So,
John's expecting to get crushed by Wesley today because you guys are playing each other.
Oh, we are. Okay, guys, the name of my fantasy football team, and just so you know, I know nothing about football. But I really wanted to play because when I figured out you can name your own team, that was inviting for me. So I named my king Mr. McGiblets Wesley Crushers. Now, is it Wesley Crushers or Wesley Crushers? No one knows.
Oh, it's great. Secret. Yeah. Nice. Kind of like our little preview today that we did for, if you guys were wondering what happened with the preview. So I don't know what happened, what I was thinking. I think the Andor news, I don't know if you guys saw the preview each week before you come here live. Brian has this nice preview up and either I or he will read it. Well, if you notice, I had what looked like a Jedi robe on, although it was just a bunch of t-shirts. And it was black. And I wanted to be in Star Wars Jedi mourning because Andor made me sick with some political news yesterday, which totally took me out of Andor, which we're going to talk about review tomorrow morning. So
I think Shane just forgot he was wearing it on his head.
Maybe.
Yeah. Archmage asks, will we be tarrying today? That's the hard word to say. But
Wait,
yes,
Terry?
we will be doing the weekly
Terry.
Terry. We will.
Yes.
Every week.
Always do the weekly. Always do the weekly Terry.
Yeah, our new weekly segments are the weekly Terry, Superman Watch, and Raw Rant. I'm sorry, Rant of the Week. So we're gonna try to do that every week. That's the plan, Sam.
Love it. Yeah. So what do you guys got going on out there? At Brian gets angry when someone who calls him up says, "Thank you for your cooperation."
Oh, you have no idea. It is insane.
You don't know cooperation.
It's insane. I'm going to tell you about some recent robocalls I got, and I might start recording these because it's getting to the point where it's absolutely hilarious. And it's gone from like, okay, it was mildly annoying, very frustrating. Okay, stop, and now it's like, well, it's so insane. All you can do is laugh or break your phone, which the latter's not an option. So. I will be crushed. I will be crushing you this week with my crushers, John Burns.
Nice. All
right. All right, man. You ready to rock and roll?
I am ready to do this. Let's talk about everything good to talk about today. Do you have anything? Oh, any stories for us? Are we going to be talking about our video? I guess later on today, right?
Yeah, when we talk about the Star Trek 4 thing.
Okay, and then anything to share that's going on with us?
And the fact that somehow, I'm sorry, what? What was the question?
Anything to share that's going on with us?
I'm going to a funeral on Saturday, but that's sort of a bummer topic I didn't want to really bring up.
That's not cool. Yeah.
What else? I've only had one case of Red Bull today, so on the wagon.
Only one case. According to a document, Queen Elizabeth died of old age, or so the Germans would have you believe.
The Germans!
The Germans did it.
Yeah, listen, I don't think anyone needed a document to know how Queen Elizabeth died.
Are you guys watching Quantum Leap? I know we're not talking about Quantum Leap today, but episode 2 dropped this week, and got to tell you, it's surprisingly better than we thought it was going to be so far. So,
yeah. I thought the show was going to be bad. I don't have another word, but just bad. Just typical, And no, it's actually super. It's very enjoyable. I love it, actually.
Yeah, they've actually done a good job of like respecting the original show, which, as we all know, most shows don't do that now. So it's kind of cool. And they've actually incorporated the old show. So if you guys aren't watching Quantum Leap, it's on Mondays, and we do a review Tuesday morning if you want to catch that. So
yeah, we saw the same leaked footage, Doomed. We saw the leaked indie footage.
We're going to talk about it today.
Oh, I didn't know we were talking about that today.
We got to like literally it has to be.
See, like we can't show it yet though. So
why?
It'll be it'll kill the stream. They're removing it from anyone that shows it. They're removing.
Okay, we're gonna put it in the member section today.
Yeah, we can do that. They won't find it there.
Okay, we're gonna put it in the members. Listen, if there is ever a day you wanted to be a member of this channel, today's the day, because we're gonna show you the Indy 5 leaked trailer, which gave me goosebumps, guys. I was not expecting this. I got like serious goosebumps. So.
Yeah, and they're removing it everywhere. It was actually hard to find. I had to reach out to some of my more shady friends and be like, "Yo, man, where's that trailer at, bro?"
And this is a good time to have shady friends.
And don't send me a weird torrent link that makes me put in my credit card information, please. Just a regular link, Holmes. Yeah. Everyone's got to have some shady friends. That's like the rule.
I don't have any shady friends, so what does that make you?
I might be your only shady friend.
You're my shady friend. And my brother.
Sorry to say. All right. Listen. Let me just end that statement with arg.
I like that.
All right. Let's rock and roll, man. Let's talk about Deadpool.
I'm ready.
All right. We are gonna be talking about the Deadpool. We don't want to call it a trailer or a teaser, but a genius level marketing ploy. Tactic?
Oh, yeah.
Somehow, Ryan Reynolds has managed to rack up millions and millions of views on a casual video a 1 minute and 2 minute video uploaded to his YouTube channel. And he's #1 trending on both the update 2. So he made one video 2 days ago where he announced it. That was trending. And then his update video was trending. And when I say trending, I'm talking about #1 and 2. Literally #1 and 2. As in they can't exist in the same spot. So they've been sitting at 1 and 2 since they uploaded for the last 2 days. It's quite incredible, actually.
Well, it's really incredible what they did. You know, Ryan Reynolds has marketed Deadpool fantastically throughout the years. When they first were bringing Deadpool out, he just had this whole series of crazy marketing that was fantastic, and it's kind of gone away for a while. But like, if you're gonna do it, like this is like the way to do it, because you could meme it with anything else. Like you could literally have like Captain Picard sitting on the couch and have Worf walk by and up the stairs. Like you could almost meme this to death with things happening.
Yeah, I actually considered asking you to do the same exact one for our weekly trailer.
Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah, it would have been like, but it just would have been too much to do at the short.
Yeah, it would have been hard.
So we're gonna show it to you because also, by the way, I uploaded these videos to our Marvel channel just to see what happened. And they're allowing them to be shown. They do the tracking thing where they track the information, but
yeah,
Ryan's not trying to like clean up on ad revenue for these, which is great. It's good. Very
he doesn't need the money. Trust me, his aviation gin is doing just fine.
Yeah, I actually, you know what's funny? I actually bought some aviation gin and the Terra Mana. So I bought a bottle of each, and I'm not a drinker. I bought them just to be a part of history, and I'm going to put them back here with my Klingon blood wine and my
nice
and my Romulan ale. Okay, here we go. This is it.
Everyone, we're extremely sad to have missed D23, but we've been working very hard on the next Deadpool film for a good long while now.
I've had to really search my soul on this one.
His first appearance in the MCU obviously needs to feel special. We need to stay true to the character, find new depth, new motivation, new meaning.
Every Deadpool needs to stand out and stand apart. It's been an incredible challenge that has forced me to reach down deep inside.
It was just gin. Like usually it's a mixer.
Yeah. Completely empty up here.
Just gin.
And terrifying.
But
we did have one idea. Hey, Hugh, you want to play Wolverine one more time?
Yeah, sure, Ryan.
Okay, so
that is so cool, man.
This is brilliant on so many levels. I want to be clear. When I saw him walking across, my immediate reaction was, please let that be Hugh Jackman. And then when he's like, hey, Hugh, want to play Wolverine? I was like, yes! I lost it. I'm not even a Marvel fanboy. I'm like a casual fan at best. And this had me instantly. No trailer, no special effects, no costumes, just a dude on the couch. It's really smart.
They literally don't need to make any trailer for this movie. Just make the movie and then put it out. I mean, this is all the hype you'll ever need, right?
Yeah. They shouldn't. I would just make the movie and like be done with it. That would be epic. No marketing required.
Right.
All right. So that was the first video, and that is #2 on trending. Now let's look at the second video that launched the next day, and is currently sitting at #1 on trending. And to be #1 on trending is hard. Okay, it's hard.
We've never done it.
We've never done it, and
maybe we should have had a couple.
And we've been trying for several years. It's very difficult. Also, we'll spend like 37 hours editing an episode of our Prime stuff, and this guy just sat on the couch and talked to the camera for 3 minutes. All right, here we go. Here's the second part, and now we got Hugh there, which is great, perfect, right?
Hi. How are you?
You have questions.
Yes.
We do have questions.
I had a lot of questions. I'm sure you had a lot of questions, but rest assured,
we do.
We're going to answer them right now. Like, for example, how is Wolverine alive
Yeah.
Right.
after Logan?
Logan
Good question.
takes place in 2029. Totally separate thing. Logan died in Logan. Not
Okay.
touching that.
I like that.
What actually happens in our film is these two get out there.
Okay. I'm going to turn it down a little bit because there's music, right? So the music's playing, and they're describing the scene or whatever. It's obviously not real. But what I found hilarious was I went on this video immediately when I saw it, and I went to the comment section. I was like, guys, the music is too loud. We can't hear you. 185 likes on that one comment, bro. So either people get the joke, or there's a lot of dummies out there that were thinking the same exact thing.
Yeah,
I hope
there's very few people thinking that, because this is an epic. This is fantastic, because I was like, this is the way you entertain, market, and troll all at the same time.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Just a fantastic, like, I hope they come out with a third one. I don't know what they're going to do next, but somebody said that would have been cool if the music they would have been like Rick-rolled music. So if they would have Rick-rolled you.
Yeah, so I think they probably had to pick music that wouldn't be copyright claimed to hell.
That's true.
So people can share it, you know.
That's true. We got a super chat.
Super chat from John Burns. He said, "My John Boy Media video. You're welcome." I don't know. Is there a link there? What's that?
I don't see a link. But knowing John,
share a link, John.
Funny. Something funny. I know it. You do realize you're not muted. What do you mean, Ken?
Yeah, I know. We do.
Maybe when I was talking about Ryan Reynolds being a very attractive man. There's like a couple of dudes, like, even if you're like a straight guy, like, you can say they're good looking dudes. Like, I think Brad Pitt qualifies, and probably Ryan Reynolds.
Brad Pitt's pushing it. I think Ryan Reynolds and obviously Jason Momoa, because I would probably turn for that man.
See, I don't go that far, but
just being real. Being real. Jason, you want me in a GIMP costume? Whatever you need, bro. Okay?
Yeah. Nice.
That got weird real quick. My bad.
That was really weird. That went weird somewhere. Nobody even asked you anything.
My bad. Yeah, so that's it. Really good stuff. Really great marketing. Obviously, the guy's a pro. There's a couple actors in Hollywood that, you know, they're not phenomenal actors per se. They usually play the same person, or they have, like, you know, one emotion, and they're usually playing the same exact thing, right? But what they're really good at is drawing a crowd. They're nice guys. They're good marketers. They're on social media. They don't alienate their fans. So, like, they're valuable not because they're Academy Award-winning actors, but because they draw crowds. And even if they're playing the same character over and over again, it doesn't matter. People are still into it. John Burns, I posted on Discord. Oh, that one. Okay. I saw a link, but I haven't clicked it today.
We should show it.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, okay.
We should be some weird, like, let's see what John did here. Yeah. I mean, we have Discord, and here's the reality about Discord, guys. We need more of you there. You know, John's there, Ken's there. We've got some people there. Jeremy's there. We need more people there. Yeah,
it's also a little you know, someone told me the other day that our Discord might be a little restrictive because we're trying to keep it from being like, well, like, so I have 3 Discord servers, and one of my Discord servers is just a mess. It's just like, there's like 6,000 people there, and there's very little organization. So when we launched this one, we were like, okay, we need to make sure it's like very streamlined and people know where to put. We might have made it a little too restrictive, but, you know, once there's more people there, we can actually put more effort into like moderating it, maybe having people moderate it.
Oh, yeah, everybody should speak in the general.
I got the John Boy Media stuff. All right. So let me show it to you. So this is from John Boy Media. John shared this with us.
What actually happens in our film is these two.
All right, and then they play a song and they drown out their voices and they're just messing around and saying a bunch of stuff and you can't hear it, so I'm going to do my best to lip read it. I don't think I got everything perfect, but I think it got the gist of it pretty good. Here we go.
These two
get out there.
Yes.
And he's like, grrr, and I'm just like,
the fucking
and I just fucking
and
catch
then
him. And I'm chasing him all over the place, and we're going through
and we're
stuff
gonna have
through all
this
these
massive,
different places
massive,
and just
huge,
yeah, and I've got the swords
explosion. And
boom,
boom,
I love it.
That's it. Boom, boom,
but I'm fine. I'm totally laughing about it.
and I'm alive too, but really got to see this because we're in our prime. It's true, the prime.
And what a way to make it up to you.
I'm so excited about this. You're just gonna fucking love it.
It's going to be the best.
Nice. Thank you, John. We appreciate that.
It's actually so the guy actually read the lips and like that's pretty smart. That's pretty cool.
So how do people find our Discord? That's a good question, Brian.
In the description down below.
Yes, in the description of all of our videos, I believe we have a Discord link.
It is not hard to find our Discord. And if you want more, then hit that up. Also hit up our socials and subscribe on the way to the comment section. Let us know what you guys think about Deadpool 3 and Wolverine in the Disney universe, which means Deadpool and Wolverine are now Disney princesses.
What? No, I think you have to literally be a princess.
Okay, so Princess Leia is a Disney princess.
Yes, she is a Disney princess. Yeah.
Gotcha. All right.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
And Discord's a great way if you guys ever wanted to like directly chat with Brian or I. That's a good way to do it.
Yeah.
I talk to people all the time.
Yeah. All right. All right. What's next? Oh, we're talking about. Oh, this is the Andor one. But before the Andor one, before we talk about Andor and the weird Nancy Pelosi thing, I really want to complain. So,
Rant of the week.
Ooh.
robocalls, scam calls. Have you renewed your auto insurance calls? Calls clearly emanating from a random high-rise building in the middle of India somewhere. These calls are nonstop. It is literally. I've had 4 calls while we started this stream 28 minutes ago. Do you realize that I am now averaging a sales call every 15 minutes? That's insane. Additionally, you block the numbers. There's all kinds of tools to help you find ways to stop them from invading your mind and your space and completely making your phone pretty much useless because you don't want to pick it up anymore. But those methods are not even valid most of the time. They change often. Let's say I block a number. They're going to use another number. I have gotten multiple calls from at least 30 of the same exact people talking about spending time at a Marriott somewhere from different phone numbers. I cannot physically block them all. It would be a full-time job. I would literally have to pay someone to screen my calls in order for me to use my phone for its intended purpose, talking to people about relevant things. So I got upset. I finally goes, all right, well, this can't be normal, right? This has to be some excessive, symptom of the pandemic or something. So I went searching. So many of these websites, instead of giving you actual information, are instead going, hey, let me show you how to stop it. And all their methods are really basic. Block them, set times where your phone is in use and not. Basically restricting you as the user instead of handling the actual problem. Trying to solve the symptom, alleviate the symptom versus root out the disease. And the disease is the sales calls. Now, looking at this article here. Oh, let me stop the ad blocker. Stupid.
Speaking of things that make you mad.
Ad blocker strike. Oh, God. I don't understand. Why are you trying to force me to try to sign up for a website? I want to know, Is there a single person out there who actually will pay Fox News or Washington Post $3 a month to read their articles? Has anyone ever done that? I've never done that.
Next week on Rant of the Week.
Okay, anyways, so you're right. I'm getting off topic. All right, so I found Fox News. They actually gave some real numbers. And they said robocalls have jumped up by over 600 million calls in a month. In a month, from February to March, the number rose to 600 million. That is, you understand how close that is to 1 billion? Like, that's
right. Yeah. Well, what happened is that everybody. Okay, so I mean, do people really understand what robocalls are about? Like, robocalls are really just people from other countries trying to rip you off. I mean, that's really what a robocall is.
Right. Yeah. So that's a great quick segue. My last robocall was a guy going, "Hello, sir. I am calling from the IRS, and you owe back taxes of $13,343. How would you like to pay that?" And I'm like, does this ever work? Like, have you ever? I literally asked the guy, have you ever gotten someone on the phone, said you were from the IRS, and they had a bill, and they actually just paid you? Has that ever worked? He goes, "Yes, it has, motherfucker." And he hung up the phone.
Yeah, it happens all the time.
Oh my
people
God.
Are scared.
Right. All right, go ahead. Sorry to cut you off.
No, I'm just saying, like, so what it is you got all these other people from different countries, and it's really a morality thing. Like for all these people from, like, it's coming from India, the Philippines, Pakistan, there's a bunch of different places. And for whatever reason, they think, well, it's okay to steal from the West. It's okay to try to steal money because they have plenty of money. So we're going to steal it from them. Probably the same way that we think about, like, corporations sometimes, when we're like, yeah, that 35 cents, I'm not giving it back to whatever it is, Right. So that's what it is. But the problem is that our cell phone carriers and our government is doing nothing to battle against it. So you have to, make yourself smart. You have to, for me, if I pick up the phone and there's any sort of click, like if there's a click, that means they've been waiting for me to pick up the phone, and now it's going to go to somebody who's going to try to steal from me. I just hang up the phone.
Right.
I do not talk to anybody. And most of the time I won't even answer a call if I don't recognize it. So, and that's sadly where we've gone so far.
Yeah, it's so excessive. People there, so they started polling people, which, by the way, when you call people as a pollster, you are doing the same thing. Like, I know it's not as bad because you're not trying to rob someone, but you're also you're using a robocall service to call someone that doesn't want to talk to you. Anyways, aside from that point, people were polled. Residents in California were polled, right? This is where we're from, California. And they said that the calls have been endless. Their words, there was a time when I would get 20 to 30 calls in a 24-hour period. Like I said, we started this stream 33 minutes ago. In that 33 minutes, I've had 3 block calls. 3.
Yeah, you know what the solution is? If you stop answering the calls completely. So what I've had to do is I just stop. I only get now maybe 1 or 2 a day max, because I don't answer any call that doesn't have a name attached to it of somebody I know.
Oh, wow. Good for you.
That's it. I just don't answer it.
I don't really have that option.
They eventually, I think, stop calling you.
Yeah, I don't have that option. I have to pick up the phone because that's part of my job. But this is what happens. I did go try to find like a spam blocker. And what the spam blocker does is it takes all the previous reported and blocked spam calls and it puts them in a database, and it will try to block it for you. And it will alleviate some of the stress. But certainly not all of it. And because it's so easy for them to make up phone numbers, they're literally just spoofing phone numbers. They don't really, I don't think they care that much. Like it's a minor inconvenience. Okay, so on that same note though, so those are all the scam calls. We also have problems with actual legitimate companies. So I mentioned the poll thing, right? This happened yesterday. Literally happened yesterday. I got a call from some Republican something. Hello, sir. I am blah, blah, blah from Republican International, whatever, right? And like, how likely are you to vote for this person in this election or whatever? And I was like, I'm sorry. nice to meet you. And I don't even know who you're talking about. I don't know.
You should have told him.
I don't know who's running for city council of like Irvine. Like,
yeah, you know what you should have told him? You should have said, you know what? I was gonna vote for him, and then you called me, and now I'm pissed. So never mind. Suck. Good job. And then hang up the phone.
That's a great idea. So they hung up. 10 minutes later, what call did I get? I got a call from what sounded like the same person, but now it was for the Democrat something party.
Oh, really? That's
and they were asking about my likelihood of voting for a Democrat from some other city. And I was like, I'm sorry, Christy, didn't we just speak? He's like, oh no, sir. I'm like, this is the same. Do you all work at a center? Are you making calls for this? Are you a volunteer that happens to be volunteering for both parties? How unlikely is that?
Yeah, no, that's a job. They're getting paid.
Right. So it's a job. So when they go like, we're volunteering for the, RNC, that's not the case. So it's nuts. The FCC is trying to battle it. And by the way, I went back and looked at the Wayback Machine. There are articles about the FCC dealing with robocalls and robotext going back like 13 years. In 13 years, they haven't done anything. They always say they're doing something, but they never actually do anything. It's sort of incredible. And and I'm not going to go through this whole article, but what they basically said was it's hard for them to deal with because of all the different networks and all that out there.
Google's made it impossible. Google has this. You can get so many numbers with Google, and they've got it so that way you can get multiple numbers on Google Voice, I think it's called.
Yeah. Google
Voice. Like last weekend, my wife, they actually set her up to like steal her phone number so they could set it up through Google Voice so that they could use it to rip people off. That's how they do it.
Interesting.
So they do it through another scam. It's terrible.
You don't even need Google Voice though. Like legitimately though, you can just spoof your number. You can put whatever number you like. There are actual services out there that I can like go on right now and call you from any number I want. And this was around 5 years ago. We even used it once to get into my wife's voicemail because she lost her phone. I went to the spoof whatever service. I paid $5. I got credits. I called my wife's number from my wife's phone, which instantly put me in her voicemail.
All right, that's weird.
I was able to get in there, check the messages, and then we were able to find her phone. And I did it by spoofing the number on a website that anyone has access to.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Sorry if I just let everyone know that. You want to get someone a voicemail, that's what you do. That's what you do.
John Burns, Super Chat, U.S. political year. Robocalls increase stupidly.
Increasing
Absolutely
stupidity. Yeah, I don't think they even need that. I think they just...
Yeah. Well, U.S. politics are stupid anyways, too.
Yeah, so true.
Which leads us into our next story.
What a great transition.
What do we got over here for the guys first?
Yeah, check that and I'll load this up.
Let's see. You owe back taxes. Please send us a Google gift card. Exactly.
Oh my God. Yeah, I've gotten those too. Like, I've after getting that whole thing, how would you like to pay? I'm like, well, what's the best way? I'm just wondering, right? Like, would you like a wire I can sell you? Maybe I do have a debit card. Like, if it is easier for you, you can go to Target and get a Target gift card and read me that. I'm like, I'm sorry. I was like, dude, is the IRS taking Target gift cards now?
I know, it's crazy.
Like, he wanted me to drive to a store, buy a gift card, and then read him the number.
Oh, that's what, my mom runs a 7-Eleven, right? So, this happens all the time. She says somebody will call, one of the people they have working there at night, and they'll be like, hi, this is 7-Eleven corporate. We need to check to make sure your phone cards are working properly. Can you, go ahead? I want you to scratch 4 or 5 of them off for me. I need you to read me the numbers, and they will do it. Like thinking that they're listening to 7-Eleven corporate. Like this is like 7-Eleven itself. So if the employees aren't like really schooled on how to do it, they get tricked into thinking they're talking to 7-Eleven corporate. It's bad.
Oh, it's so good. So good. I'm saying that sarcastically. Okay, well, let's talk about some politics, shall we? because that's our favorite topic. We're talking about Star Wars Andor. And it looks like Tony Gilroy unpacks Andor episode 4. He talks about Mon Mothma, and he says, Mon Mothma is a Nancy Pelosi character. Okay. All right. Aside from the insanity of that statement, does anyone know who Nancy Pelosi is? All right.
I'm sure most people do, yeah.
Okay, so do you know what, so she's a rep, right? And
she's a congresswoman, yes. And she's the leader of the Democrats in Congress, right?
Right. And her state is what state?
It's California.
It's California, right?
Yes.
12 congressional district. And
yes, by the way, that's San Francisco.
San Francisco, right? Which is one of the worst. San Francisco is so bad right now. Look, Nancy Pelosi hasn't even stepped foot in this state in like since like the 2016 election. Anyways, she is not. If you're trying to compare a character to a good or liberal Democrat that you like, you wouldn't pick this person.
Right. Well, here's the thing. Okay, no, that's not true, because if you're a Democrat liberal, then you love Nancy Pelosi.
How? She doesn't do anything of value.
Because, well, not according. Listen, you're trying to be reasonable. Just knock it off. Okay, it's not reasonable to be on the left, the far left, or the far right. It's just not reasonable at all. And in fact, from a political standpoint, this is what frustrates me about this, Brian. I'm watching this movie or this show, Andor. I'm getting through the first 3 episodes, and I'm like, I don't know if I like it. Oh, kind of slow. I'm not sure. And then Tony comes out with his thing, and he's like, yeah, so I want to read you the exact words that he's got here, because it takes a little bit of time to get into it. They wait a little while to
drop the
break
news.
It out here.
You know what's funny is too, when I saw the Mon Mothma key art, like the art leading up to the episode, I was like, she sort of looks like a young Hillary Clinton. Like she had that vibe.
I mean, that's kind of what you're talking about here, right?
I mean, they should have said Hillary then. Nancy Pelosi just doesn't do much.
No, there's a reason why he said Nancy though, and let me. So here it is. So he says, this is what he says. The question they asked is, Mon Mothma shows up in episode 4. What can you tell us about where she's at now in her own rebel journey? And Tony says, anyone who follows the canon, she's sort of a Nancy Pelosi character, isn't she? Like he asked the question. She's kind of trying to do good or whatever she's trying to do, and she's losing. I mean, I don't know. She's a powerful presence in the Senate, but she's facing defeat after defeat after defeat as the empire is taking over here. She's always presented as a very proper and sober and perfectly put together all the time in canon, and it just seems that it was such a perfect opportunity to say, well, what's really going on behind here? So basically, just to break this down for you guys, Tony just said that the Republicans are the empire. That's exactly what he just said.
Did he know? Because she's working for. It's almost like I don't know.
No, she's not working for. No. What he said was, she's trying to do good, but she's being beat. She's being beat, right? She's losing, being defeated, just like Nancy Pelosi.
It's like Nancy Pelosi, because Nancy Pelosi loses over and over and over again.
Because, he's specifically talking about when Trump was president, because she was losing a lot.
We're talking about Trump, yeah.
Right? Okay, so this is what frustrates me. I don't care what side of the political spectrum you're on. I don't care. Nancy Pelosi carries a special evil in Brian and I's hearts because she's ruined the state of California over the past 35 years.
Yeah.
Okay, she's really been a part of ruining the state. Okay, and it's frustrating and really can't stand her for it.
Yeah, it's not for us. It's not even a Republican or Democrat thing. It's a Californian thing.
It's a California thing.
Her entire family run this state, and they've ran this state for 60 years, and it's horrible.
Yeah, and honestly, anything she's doing at a national stage, she's really doing nothing. Like, there's nothing happening up there. None of the politicians are accomplishing anything.
They don't accomplish
it. She's actively destroying California.
Yeah. Every politician's job is just to get elected the next time, right? But she's actively putting people in power that are her family members and sucking the life out of the state of California without actually offering anything in return.
Right. Her nephew is the governor.
Right.
Gavin Newsom is her nephew.
Oh, surprise.
So, yeah. So,
but the average person doesn't know that because they have different last names. Oh,
I know. So, but anyways, the point is, it doesn't matter what politics you are. Here's the problem. I go to watch Andor episode 4, and as soon as Mon Mothma pops up, I go, damn it. Because now I'm only thinking about Nancy Pelosi's face as I'm watching this. And I'm like, dang it. I watch Star Wars and everything else that we watch to get away from this craziness that's going on in politics in our world. Right. The last thing I need is these dumb showrunners, these idiot writers letting us know that, listen, we're thinking about politics when we're creating these people, and I'm a Democrat, by the way, or I'm a Republican. Well, actually, nobody says they're a Republican because that would be wrong. Yeah. So but I'm a Democrat, and this is Nancy Pelosi, and isn't she the poor woman just went over to Taiwan even though she shouldn't have, and almost got China to blow up the United States because she doesn't give a shit, and everything else going on around here because Nancy Pelosi's got it all figured out. And she's eating ice cream and shit like that. So, anyways, enough of that. I just want you to know that Andor is semi-ruined every time I see Mon Mothma because now it's Nancy Pelosi and she looks like her. Come on, guys. Tony, don't act like you didn't do it on purpose. She looks like her with the haircut.
As you were sitting there ranting, I just imagine her face getting closer and closer and closer.
I mean, come on. See, they look like her. Can you show Mon Mothma for a second, really quick? I think it's on here. Let's show. Look, go back and forth. Mon Mothma.
Let me get it.
She's at the top of the story, and then Nancy. If you could just.
I was actually pretty excited to see Mon Mothma too.
I was too, because the character is like a rebel legend. Yeah. Right. But and she may still be, but now I'm just thinking of American politics.
Yeah. There's
Mon Mothma. Let's time to go and show the picture of the article we just did. The article at the top. There we go. That picture. Now go to Nancy. Yeah.
No, wrong one.
Nope. Yeah. There. All right.
Boom. Boom.
Boom.
Yeah.
Boom.
I mean, I can see it.
Oh, who does she look like? Little bob haircut. Right.
I mean,
so they did that on purpose.
I mean, to be fair though, I mean, I can see it being a younger Mon Mothma too from the movie.
What?
Like, when you look at that character, I can see that being a younger version of the character that we are aware of.
I get it, but he said the name Nancy Pelosi. He says he sees her as Nancy Pelosi. So when he created her, that's who he has in his mind politically.
Yeah, just so you guys know, it's always a good idea for you just to stop bringing politics into things that aren't even political. It's so weird.
Just shut up. Shut up and make your show. You know what I'm saying? Like, shut up.
I'm watching you.
I don't care what your political persuasion is. In fact, I prefer not to know, because if I like you and you start saying stupid things, I'm not going to like you anymore. I hate that.
Mexican Iron Man Super Chat. I am on the South Carolina watching a hurricane approach, and leaving California last year was the best decision ever.
Hail Mexican stormtroopers.
And he also said, good job, Shane. Now all I see is Pelosi.
I know, right? I'm sorry if you guys tuned in and now you didn't know this article was out there. Now we have now ruined you, and now we are part of the problem. I'm so sorry.
It's our fault. It's all our fault. Imagine if someone in Hollywood was like you said that no one admits they're Republican, right? Because like that's a cancellation thing. I could just see afraid. Like, yeah, I'm actually a Republican, and then it just stops. Account canceled. This account was removed for multiple infractions.
It's funny. I mean, like if you guys probably know, Brian and I are we're pretty much libertarian.
Yeah.
And not saying that we follow any sort of philosophical policy. We just believe in freedom.
Here's this is how we're libertarian. We don't care.
Well, we don't care. That's a good way of putting it. We want everybody to be able to do their own thing and mind their own business. So this whole these Republicans and these Democrats are just driving me crazy. Specifically in California, though, the Democrats are just destroying us, and frustrates me living there.
It's so bad in California, guys. Oh my God.
Who is Princess Leia AOC? That'll be the next show. The article came out yesterday, Dork Night.
I actually think AOC is hilarious. I don't know anything about her politics, or do I care, but her social media posts just make everyone lose their minds, and they're always so benign because she's not actually suggesting anything that's possible or even deep. It's always like super surface level. Like, guys, I think that we should just like everyone, like everyone's cool. And you're like, yeah, but then I
hate you.
And that's why I hate these. And like the first comment's like, you suck.
Well, that's what happened. It's people have been relegated to their caricature. It's like the same thing they do to Trump. They do to AOC. They got these evil figures on each side.
And then she got caught. This is the best one. She got caught. She had a picture on Instagram where she's like looking through a fence at like the Mexican border detainees.
Mm-hmm.
But then
I remember that one. That was hilarious.
Someone took a picture of her taking a picture, and she was just like looking through at a Walmart parking lot.
Yeah, she was like at a parking lot somewhere, and they were like setting up as her looking through to Mexico. That was hilarious. But man, no one ever says anything. It's just whatever.
Like she posted, and the first comment was like, dude, that was a Walmart parking lot. Like, it's so good. Anyways. Yeah, Trump is clearly Jabba the Hutt. Oh, sure.
Well, like I said, this is politics or
and
politics.
Mike Pence is that little guy on the top.
Yeah, politics will make you grow old fast. I'm just gonna stay away from it.
Yeah, politics.
Anyways, so that's why I don't want them in my entertainment. That's why I get so frustrated.
Yes. All right. Well, let's move on to the next topic. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the subscribe button on the way to the comment section. Let us know who you voted for. No, don't do that.
Don't tell us. Don't tell us what your political persuasion is. We don't want to know.
Video was removed for misinformation.
Unless you're libertarian, then we can have drinks.
The problem with I definitely just say libertarian because it's easier. But I know an actual hardcore libertarian who really subscribes to a lot of the the real I'm not gonna say crazy, but in-depth libertarian stuff. And I don't know if I agree with all that either. Maybe I'm just sort of a moderate. I'm
exactly.
Moderate libertarian.
I don't believe in anything insane, left, right, up, down, whatever. I'm pretty close to the middle on everything.
Right, except for freedom. When Alex Jones said they're turning the frogs gay, he was right. I'm just saying it's a ridiculous statement, but that's what happened.
I don't even care. Don't even care.
I just love that meme. It was him yelling, "They're turning the frogs gay," and then a year later, it's so the chemical plant that Alex Jones was talking about, their runoff was actually causing the frogs to change genders. And then wait, so he was right?
Yeah, even a broken clock is right twice a day.
Amen to that. All right, let's move on to the next thing. Joe Biden is Luke Skywalker in the sense that he sees and talks to God.
Watching Biden speeches are just hilarious, man. You just never know what he's gonna do.
Did you see that one? He's like, I have one word to sum up America. He's like, He's gonna use one word to sum up the American economy. He's like,
it just didn't come out. Well, he was talking to the United Nations or NATO or something like that over this whole Russian nuclear stuff, right? And he just couldn't hold it together. He's using weird words, and you just never know what he's gonna say. Yeah, we gotta go out there, and he gets this long distance look in his eye when he.
I used to go to the pool, and the kids they would rub the water on the hair on my legs, and when I got out of I also chili cheese fries. But, you know, Jill said, and you're like, what's happening right now?
Isn't he like at a Toyota plant or something?
Right. Candace says, you know the world's in trouble when Alex Jones is right. That reminded me, you're right. That also reminded me of when Ozzy Osbourne was like, listen, guys, I'm going back to England because it's too crazy here. Like when Ozzy Osbourne is saying it's too crazy, we are so screwed.
Let's see. John Burns, super chat. Thank you, John. You're so gracious. We appreciate the support. Well, that's your Perry Mason moment, Brian.
Oh, I miss Perry Mason. Oh, they should reboot that show.
No, please don't reboot anything else. Just do something new. They're rebooting.
Do it in the style of CSI Miami, where it's like,
although I gotta admit, I love David Caruso.
Yeah, I had this like super cut of him and his like corny lines, like, well, now murder's on the menu. Dun, dun, dun.
I know.
I was like, the goose is cooked. Dun, dun, dun. There's a super cut out there of everyone, and without context, it's insane and awesome at the same moment.
But if you're watching it, like, you get it, you know. But
oh yeah, it looks like the goose is cooked.
We need to make sure that we do the weekly Terry on this side of the live show.
Okay,
just heads up.
I'll watch it, John. All right. All right, let's move on to the next thing. Let's talk about let's see what's next. I'm on Star Trek. So many.
No, we got to do Star Trek still. Yeah.
We're gonna do the weekly Terry. I guess we'll knock that out right now.
Okay.
And then we'll do Indiana Jones 5 in member section, and we'll do the Cavill thing in member section. And one of the Star Treks. But which one?
We should talk about our video on this side.
Yeah, let's do that. All right. Okay. All right. So we are about to do the weekly Terry. You ready?
I am so ready.
I need you to do the voice. I forgot to edit.
You forgot to do it?
I did.
Okay, put it up and I'll do it. The weekly Terry.
Dun 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 dun. Everyone, this is the weekly Terry. I gotta tell you,
everyone. Let's give some. We're gonna do the weekly Terry, and we're gonna talk about stuff he did on Twitter. But it's nice to share like some of the stuff that's going on with him, because we do communicate with Terry Matalas on a personal level to some degree. We're not buddies or nothing, but we could be buddies. It could happen.
We could be buddies. We could be buddies.
Terry, if you're out there, you want to have a beer, talk about it. Let's give me a call. But the reality is, you know, the trolls just won't give up out there. I don't understand why everybody's so upset about the Titan retrofit. He's getting so much crap for the way the Titan looks. When I'm looking at it, I'm like, it's like the perfect blend of like classic Trek and like current, you know, stuff they're doing with the starship. So I don't get it.
Yeah, why is everyone losing their mind about this such super innocuous thing? I don't.
Yeah, they just keep harassing him about it. And you know, it's funny. He's like, he keeps blocking people or whatever. But it's funny, you know, you're seeing less and less people interacting with fans on Twitter. And I'm telling you, he's just going to disappear if people keep messing with him. I told him, just look, block him and move on. There's more positive people out there. What happens? And anyways.
Yeah, and the weirdest thing is, like, I get artists subjective, but like this wasn't like a huge change. It's literally it's such a minor thing, and from our perspective, it looks great. That doesn't make any sense. Anyway,
well, and it's not like it's the Enterprise. Like if it was the Enterprise and it looked totally different, like I could see like there being a lot of opinions. But it's the Titan. It's not like we've seen a lot of the Titan, anyways, right?
Right.
So it's like, why are you getting upset about this ship that probably in Picard season 3 you're going to see more of it than you've ever seen? So yeah. I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah, if you want to get upset about the Titan, get upset about the ship that Riker was using at the end of season 1. And then they took that ship and they literally like controlled C, controlled V on the screen and just copy and pasted the same exact ship 400 times. Like that was clearly someone mailing it in. And that's something to complain about, not someone lovingly bringing this ship to life.
That's well said. I think it's well said. So anyways, the Weekly Terry, we got some good stuff here. I just realized all the links I posted of his specific tweets, I actually posted like twitter.com/Terry Metalis. So it's not, I don't have the specific tweets here.
It. Yeah.
Do you? Okay. So let's go with.
It's interesting because Shane was like, "Hey, I sent you the link." I'm like, "You mean to twitter.com?" Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. I didn't know what that website was.
Okay. I'm officially old. Okay, you got it. Okay. You got it.
I got the tweet.
So pull up the first one here and this is the big news one. Yeah. Let's talk about this one. So we got this here. It says, "Hey, at Terry Metalis, will this be mentioned or addressed in Star Trek 3? Blink once for yes or 2 for no."
And
where will you go?
And the question is it's a poll. Best Beverly and Wesley moment. Goodbye Wesley in Journey's End. Looks Beverly Crusher, Wesley Crusher, Star Trek TNG, blah blah blah.
Yeah, I think they're talking about the fact that he left the ship.
The fact that are they going to address Wesley? Are they going to address Wesley and Beverly? Because they did not have. You got to remember, like he bailed, and that's like the last time we know he's ever seen his mom, right?
Right. And then he became a traveler and a magic Doctor Who figurine.
Right. So what did Terry say about this?
Blinks
he blinked once. Oh, it's the giveaway. I love that. Look at that Napoleon
Here's
Dynamite
the deal,
character there,
boys.
Yes. So that means that we're going to get a Wesley Crusher, Beverly Crusher moment, which, I mean, I don't know if we necessarily were like, yes, we got to have that, but it would be interesting to see how he responds to seeing his mom again after being gone for so long, right?
Yeah. Okay. So there's there's ways this can be paid off correctly or incorrectly, or also just like fan service wise. First option is they do address it in the sense where Beverly has some exposition where she talks about her son being a traveler. That can be the most minor way. The second way is we can actually have Wesley Crusher in the series in some regard, but I would argue that would be a bad idea, and I'll tell you why. He is a traveler. Like that would be an OP. Right. That would be a very overpowered ally to have, you know.
And I think it's going to be an innocuous thing that happens in the show, because I don't think Terry would have given it away if Wesley was going to play like a big role. Like let's say he's going to take Picard off with the Travelers, or if he was going to play some sort of pivotal role in the story that was more of a surprise. I don't think Terry would have given that away to us.
All right.
So it's going to be innocuous. Somebody over here said, Doomed Hus said, Wesley was in Nemesis. You're right. He was sitting there in Nemesis. His speaking part was cut. So he did see his mom at that point, but we don't have any
scene, right?
No, we see him. We see him.
Oh, we actually see him.
Yeah, we do. But his speaking line was cut. So I guess what I'm saying is we haven't seen any interaction between Wesley and his mom now that he's a traveler.
That's interesting.
Or an explanation. He needs to, we need to hear something from him.
Well, there's multiple problems here, actually. Okay, so he went off with that pedophile guy to do whatever he's going to do. I forgot his name. I'm sorry.
He's a traveler. Who cares?
Oh, and he was. Oh, that's right. You're right. My bad. And then he just sort of shows up at the wedding. Then
we don't know. All we see is the wedding.
Right. So someone made a mistake there, and like they forgot that he was supposed to be off traveling.
I don't know if anybody made a mistake. They just didn't explain it. I mean, who says a traveler can't come? Obviously, a traveler can come because the traveler who came and got Wesley was hanging out on the Enterprise. So there's no reason, I guess, that Wesley can't come back. I mean, we don't understand what the travelers are. Like somehow they're like tied to Gary 7, which
listen, that's the biggest sin for me from Picard season 2 was,
100%
was making the Gary 7 race travelers. That was the biggest sin.
That was awful.
You ruined a question that I've had my entire Trekkie life, and you've taken it and you've given it the absolute worst answer.
And it could have been done so much cooler than that. And it's like, here's what I would say, and I really hope that we tie. I hope that when come Picard season 3, we don't tie up loose ends for the sake of tying up loose ends.
Right.
Like, we didn't need to have Gary 7's story explained to us. We didn't need that to be answered in Picard season 2. And they did it with a Romulan that made absolutely zero sense. Like, the whole thing was weird. A Romulan helping Earth. It just didn't make sense to the whole story.
Yeah, it was clear that they just wanted to cast the same person that had a contract.
Right. So everything we know about Picard season 3, though, is that Terry is not going to make those types of mistakes. Now, he kind of keeps joking with me all the time. He's like, I hope you really do like it. I hope you do like Picard season 3, because we keep saying, we think it's going to be good because we know Rob has seen it, and we line up with Robert Meyer Burnett on our thoughts, especially for Star Trek. So, if he says it's great, then for us, we know we're going to like it.
Sorry, Shane, I have to interrupt you.
Go ahead.
We do line up on Star Trek, but
Just
not on pineapple on pizza. That is a sin. No one should do that. How dare you?
I actually like pineapple on pizza, but
damn it, Shane. Damn, this is over. I gotta go.
Pineapple and pepperoni's good.
Oh my God, you're an insane person.
I'm sorry, I can't help it.
Shane's the kind of guy that's like, I want instead of extra cheese, can I get less cheese, more sauce, extra pepperoni, extra pineapple? You're like,
you're shocked. That is right.
Yeah, we're not making a joke. Like, I've had this order with you.
I need more sauce.
What's the point of less cheese, more sauce?
I like the sauce.
It's such okay. We're
obviously Brian and I don't line up on pizza.
So weird.
Anyways,
so weird.
Back to the weekly Terry. We're gonna ask Terry what his favorite pizza is next week, so you guys know. But seriously, so we'll see what happens. Do we have a couple more tweets, I think, from last week that we can pop up real quick?
Yeah,
you
sure.
Still have them? Don't boss me, man.
Let me find them for you, because you didn't give them to me correctly.
Wait, real quick. Kenneth LaRoque, super chat, $5. Thank you, Ken. Shut up, Wesley.
Shut up, Wesley.
Thanks, Ken. Appreciate the support. I always eat pineapple on pizza, David Nunez says. Thank you, David. Thanks for backing me.
All right. What other tweet was it?
So there were a couple of them.
I only have that one in here.
That's because that's the only one I shared. Remember, I screwed up the other ones.
Oh.
So there's a couple more. There was one about music.
Okay.
See if I can find it real quick. Here it is. I got it.
Okay.
So I'm going to copy it. I'm going to send it over to you. Boom. Inside the weekly Terry.
Boom.
Pop that bad boy up, because this is important. This was like a really good one that he gave out.
Okay.
Okay. Go ahead and open that and then play it.
Okay. Here we go. Yeah, that's the TNG theme song.
Doesn't that give you chills, bro?
Yeah, he said this is some of the music from season 3 of Picard. That's the TNG theme song. Like, that's awesome.
It's them doing it.
I know, it's awesome, but like,
yeah,
it's like anyone that thinks that this is not going to be a TNG, style, a continuation of that, like some kind of finality to that series, is nuts. Like, the music is literally.
I mean, of course, but I'm saying it's in a different style a little bit. It's active.
True.
It's something. It's a little piece of what's to come, and so it's something that we should be excited about. I was excited about it. I love hearing it. Jerry Goldsmith, man, awesome.
Yeah, I was so bummed in Picard season 2 when we found that music for the last episode, and it had like the First Contact theme music playing. And you and I were like, okay, obviously the TNG crew is going to be teased at the end of season 2, because they have like the season 2, they have TNG Stinger music and the First Contact, which is the last time, not the last time, but the best time we saw them in a movie. And it It was perfect. But then they just played the music over him and his new crew at the bar. And you're like, why would you waste this? You just wasted it.
Yeah, I know. One more tweet here for you for the Weekly Terry. Now, let me tell you, this is why I think you can trust Terry Matalas. I know everybody's worried about Picard season 1 and 2, but this is why I think you can trust him. Besides the fact that Rob loves it, and I've talked to Terry, and I love his work on 12 Monkeys. If you look at this tweet, it'll tell you why you can trust Terry Matalas.
Okay, here we go.
Terry Matalas says, one of my favorite Trek moments. And what I love about this is it's also one of my favorite Trek moments. Absolutely. The moment that Data is walking around the elderly Dr. McCoy, this is just before DeForest Kelley passed away. This allowed me to say TNG is okay. I loved TOS. I wasn't sure about this new series. There was a lot of bad news. There was a lot of people upset that this bald captain was going to take over for Kirk. And all of a sudden you see Bones walking around and you're like, oh, it's okay. They're together. They're in the same world. It sent this message, right? And it was such a wonderful, it's one of my favorite moments. The moment with Scotty in one of the other episodes where he's stuck in the transporter.
Yeah. The buffer.
The buffer, these moments that connect them are wonderful. And just Terry shared that with us this week with everybody on Twitter. And, listen, somebody who loves Trek like this is got Trek's best interest at heart, and I think that we need to give him a chance for season 3 of Picard. Yeah,
and the line "she'll always bring you home" is, just brilliant. It's like it's connecting. Even though they're two separate ships that simply share the same name, that moment was showing them it's a separate ship, shares the same name, but it's the same feeling, the same purpose, same universe, and you're right, it works.
Yeah. John Burns super chat. This is for you, Brian.
Brian hates pineapple on pizza, loves anchovies. I don't actually like anchovies on my pizza. I don't mind anchovies though by themselves.
Gross. Oh,
I don't mind them. I'm not like yo, I gotta get some anchovies. No, it's like, but if there was an appetizer thing, I've had smoked anchovies at a restaurant with some kind of cream tartare sauce, and you're like, that's pretty good. But again, I'm not going out to the store looking for anchovies.
Yeah, I got you.
People think that anyone that likes anchovies or doesn't mind them is just an anchovy fan. Every time I say I don't mind anchovies, they're like, "Oh, you like anchovies?" I'm not saying I love them. I don't mind them. The same way I don't mind wheat bread. I don't mind it.
I see. To me, it's either a love or a hate thing. I can't imagine either loving it or hating it. So I think that's probably what people think about anchovies. You either got to love them or you just can't. It's weird. It's fish. They're little fish.
I think I'm a moderate about most things. Because I complain about pineapple on pizza, but I'll still eat it if that's all there is. I'm not going to be like, oh no. Although, do not put mushrooms on pizza. Please don't add the texture of a mushroom to the texture of bread. It's the worst combination.
Agreed with that.
All right.
Kenneth LaRoque, what about when Scotty showed up and Dave Nunya, my favorite original Trek and TNG episode is Scotty. Yes, I mentioned that one. Those two, when Scotty came back and we got a whole episode with him, it was absolutely gorgeous. TOS people in TNG, we never got our Shatner moment, which was a bunch of garbage, but
yeah.
Until Generations.
Yeah, and then they killed him under a struss or whatever. The bridge collapsed. Oh, he died. I don't know.
Luckily, they made books that kept him alive, so that was good.
The books would. I love that movie, but I understand the criticism. I am in the Nexus. I must find a captain that will help me defeat Sauron or Sora, whatever his name was, right? And he gets Captain Kirk. You're like, oh, Captain Kirk, woo! Here we go, boys. Captain Kirk comes out, and 5 minutes later, he's dead again. You're like, are you joking right now? That was, you need him for 5 minutes, and then just, and I don't understand how in that century someone's gonna die. If he's not instantly vaporized, I feel like you have a medical bay that can literally create organs from scratch. The guy had a little bridge land on him. I don't understand how he can't be fixed. I don't.
The plot required him to die.
It was so dumb. They should have had him like be vaporized or something like that, or explode in the explosion. Like I don't know.
Oh, that would have been good. Can't bring him back.
Anyways,
that was your weekly Terry. Stay tuned for next week, and we will have more Terry Metalis news.
Hit the subscribe button on the way to the comment section and let us know, what would you like to ask Terry next week? If you comment soon enough, we will try to forward those questions on to Terry, and we'll see what he says.
Yeah, he will answer.
Yeah. All right.
He's good about it.
Let's move on. So we're going to do Star Trek. We're going to do Star Trek and... Okay, so what's what we're going to do? We're going to talk about Star Trek 4 and its eternal limbo state and the video we just made. And then we're going to go to the members section and we're going to talk about Ezra Millers crazy compound or whatever. Guys,
good.
The person is insane. Also, we're going to talk about the ridiculous comments about how Star Trek needs to learn from Star Wars. When I say that, like, it feels wrong coming out of my mouth, and I'm just saying what someone else said. And we're going to talk about... What's up?
We're doing She-Hulk episode 7 review.
Oh, yeah.
In the member section.
Oh, yeah. So should we do one of these outside the member section, perhaps?
Whatever you want to do. Whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
We can do the She-Hulk review here if you want.
No, I'm going to finish with that. Because that one's sort of long.
And then we got the Superman watch, right?
Then we got Superman Watch 2022. And this one is about YouTube scooper Grace Randolph. And just so you guys know, I'm not a huge Grace Randolph fan. So this is going to be a fun topic.
All right.
That gives us, that gives us 4 solid things plus the Indiana Jones thing. Okay.
Oh, we got Indiana Jones. Oh, we're going to be doing the Indiana Jones trailer. Yeah, you don't want to miss that in the member section.
So we're gonna do the leaked Indiana Jones trailer because we can't do it here because the second someone sees it, the video will just be pulled.
Yeah, we would have done it here, but join us over in the members.
Yes,
look, it's
please.
It's less than a Starbucks coffee, like half of a Starbucks coffee, to be a member for 1 month. Give it a try. We put out content all week long that members see, so you'll have a great time. Yeah. Come join us.
John Burns said, but think of how much Shatner made for those 5 minutes. That's true.
He's doing okay. That's for sure.
Yeah, he's fine. Yeah. All right. So let's talk about the final thing here before we go to the member section. And it's Star Trek 4. Let me set this up. We are talking about Star Trek 4. Its release date has been pushed or delayed or removed from the schedule. Once again, Star Trek 4 is in the news. But why? It's in the news because someone at Paramount finally looked at the information, the numbers, the data, and said, there's no way this happens. So here we are. Yeah.
Well, what's interesting is the timing of this news is really interesting because Brian and I had been working on a Star Trek 4 Boldly Going Nowhere video on the Prime channel. And if you haven't seen that, you should go over and take a look because it actually breaks down more than just this news. It kind of talks about how the things leading up to this that were going on. So that's a great video to watch. But this news basically says, Star Trek 4 was supposed to launch, be released in December 22nd, 2023. And that news came out earlier this year. But after Matt Shackman decided to take the Fantastic Four. Yeah. Marvel job and left Star Trek. I mean, you can't blame the guy for taking a Marvel movie that has a schedule, that has actors placed, to leaving Star Trek, who the actors are like, oh, we're doing a movie? Cool.
Right, yeah.
You gonna call it?
They announced the schedule, and then someone on the red carpet, like a week later, so, hey, what's going on with Star Trek 4? He goes, oh, they're doing that? Like... No one.
Yeah, they announced it. Oh, really? Okay.
No one knew about this movie except for the studio announcing it. Like, everyone is confused.
Yeah, and you want to watch our video about it because we actually go into and explain why. And Chris Pine gives it away. I won't give it away here exactly, but Chris Pine kind of gives away why why Star Trek 4 has been so difficult to nail down. And we'll let his words talk about it there. But if you were looking forward to Star Trek 4, we'll have to wait a little longer. What's going to happen next? They need a director. Is J.J. Abrams going to just plop down in the seat and do it? I don't know. He could. He did start this thing, so he could end it. I think that the studio has got a lot to do, though. They got to get a director who's willing to be flexible. They need actors. They got to get paid, and then they got to manage their schedules. I don't know, Brian. What do you think?
Yeah. So here's the first thing you do. And I don't know if this is the way it's actually done, but I would assume if Shane said to me, "Hey, Brian, we have $5 million and the rights
I quit. Let's go
to Star Trek. We have to make a movie with this budget." My first step would be, okay, let's get a script.
Yes.
And then my second step would be, hey, actors, we have a script. It's in your email. Let us know if you're interested. This is your salary, if you are. And then my third step would be to find a director and a producer and all the other services. And then when everything was in place, when all those steps were done and I knew who was in the movie and who wasn't and who was doing what, and I had the budget and everything set up, I would then find my best release date, and then I would announce that release date. They literally did it completely backwards. They started at the bottom of the list and went all the way went up. It makes no sense.
Well, they had their executive producer in place, and it makes me wonder. They must have really felt good about their script for them to put a date in, because you got to remember, this script has been bouncing around for a while. It's like they've gone through 3 or 4 variations. So the guys who were working on this script were cleaning up the last one. So they weren't starting over from scratch. And we don't know what that script is about, but they were still going to, it was basically for this crew, the rebooted crew, and it was cleaned up. So they didn't have a big script problem to worry about. Now, what we heard, and we'll break into the video a little bit here, but what we found out was basically insiders during Star Trek Day were like, yeah, so just so you know, things are not going well. The director quit. And by the way, the script is not being received very well. So that kind of was the problem. So forget the actors and everything. Like, they don't have a story. And the director's like, well, you ain't got a story. I'm not going to stick around. I got work to do. So the studio has big issues here, Brian. They got to get their crap together for Star Trek 4.
Right. And the question is, who didn't like the script because they didn't show it to the actors? And often when you're going to show something to an actor, you send them a script.
Yeah, the actors don't know anything. You're right. But I think it's a studio problem. I mean, I guess I'll just tell it. So the studio wants a big blockbuster movie. They want to compete with Marvel. They want to compete with they want to make $1 billion Star Trek movie. But as Chris Pine eloquently says, maybe Star Trek isn't $1 billion thing. Maybe it should be like a $500 million thing. And let's make a Star Trek movie for fans who love Star Trek. That's literally what he says. Check out our video.
Right.
And that's truth. That is truth. So if the studio is like, well, this script isn't going to be big enough, or where's the, big laughs, where's, I don't know, but it's definitely not what they want. And they want to make a lot of money. So what do you do?
Yeah, they do. They want to make a ton of money, and everyone wants to make a ton of money. I get that. But you can decrease the budget or whatever and make a story that's not like Discovery. Remember what we talked about? Every season of Discovery, galactic ending event.
Right.
Like, you couldn't make a contained story. It had to always be a galactic ending event. Right? And every season you're trying to one-up yourselves until your ship is 997 years into the future. You're dealing with a mystical force that burned out all the dilithium and a species beyond the Great Barrier that accidentally is destroying planets. Like, this is the level you get to when you are constantly trying to one-up your previous season.
Yeah, good call. They should do a V'ger script. You know, the actors are older. They've been around for a while now. Remember, TOS did Star Trek the motion picture. They were older, right? They should do some sort of a take on V'ger and then fix kind of that whole thing and make it more interesting and not so slow.
I mean, good point, because technically V'ger should be showing up in their time.
Should be, yeah.
Because like time was changed, but the time that was changed affect the crew. It wouldn't have affected V'ger.
Right. And maybe this is an opportunity to tie it to the Borg somehow. Like they could do a really cool Star Trek movie. Hey, guys, let us write the script. Okay, let us write it.
Oh, you can even introduce the Borg via V'ger. Right.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys, you want to make $1 billion? That's how you do it.
Yeah.
You want to make $1 billion?
Star Trek fan ever.
Take every Star Trek, the best of Trek, and just put it in one movie. I mean, imagine the Borg in a Kelvin universe movie with all they can do now. I mean, that would be you can finally tie V'ger to the Borg the way I know not everyone likes that idea, but there are plenty of fans that love that idea, just so you guys know. So you can actually tie that. You can even leave on like a teaser where like they deal with the V'ger situation and like you see like someone's skin with the nanite thing at the very end, and like you can make 2 movies here. You can make 2 movies.
You could do a lot. And it would also lead into something else. You could turn it into like a new trilogy or something. Right. You know, where you pop out 3 movies. I mean, there's just a lot they can do. There's a lot of stories. There's a lot of Trek stories that can be told with different takes on it. The cool thing is they need to focus on the characters. See, that's the secret. The characters are what are important. You know, all of the Star Trek movies that are great really focus on the relationship between, you know, Kirk and Spock and McCoy. Just that whole relationship building. They need to do that. Make us care about the characters again, kind of like they did here. And I know not everybody loves the second Star Trek rebooted movie, but there's some really great elements in it other than Khan.
Yeah. Jeremy says that V'ger should be tied to Discovery's Spear data computer. That actually, as much as I hate that so much, it makes sense. And he's also said, no thanks, the Borg only want hugs these days. Archmage Frey, you're right. Except for that's the wrong way to do it. The Borg the Borg should be on the same level as an incoming storm. It should be so terrifying because you are not fighting something that you can fight with your hands. It is a force of nature. They are locusts. It should be on that. They should be terrifying. Because on their nose, like on paper, that is a terrifying idea. That
100% true.
Like the Borg not only overrun everything that they touch, but they are actively now turning your body unwillingly into one of them. It's like if zombies were smart. It's crazy. It's an amazing idea.
You'd have to like find a way to like twist time a little bit to make it possible, but there's got to be a way with this new timeline to have something have happened that would change that whole element.
Yeah, well, with the V'ger thing, so the way they worked it out, I mean, in the movie, they can just have a different outcome where maybe it has a little more of a, maybe they handled it less with the precision of the original crew and more with the blunt instrument, and they solved the problem, but maybe they pissed off the nanites. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Something.
John Burns says, if pitch meeting taught us anything, it's that the studios are good with taking less money. Studios hate large grossing movies. I mean, coincidentally, that is often true. He also said, don't they need a new Chekhov's gun?
Well, of course, you know,
the story element, right?
Yeah, it's a dramatic principle that states that every element in a story must be necessary and irrelevant elements should be removed.
Wow.
Thank you for the super chats, John. That is fantastic.
Thank you, John. All right. Well, that's it for that news. Let us know in the comments section what you think about this whole debacle. Are you done with Star Trek 4? Are you care any more about this universe? Let us know in the comment section. And if you haven't watched the video, go check out that video on the way there. Okay?
Yes.
Okay. Moving on, boss.
Moving on. So we got Orville Nation in the chat. Welcome, Orville Nation.
The chickadee chat.
Nice. Jeremy Schneider's here. He's saying, listen, mushrooms and pizza, you should like that, Brian.
That's not true. Although I do not mind mushrooms with Salisbury steak. Ain't bad.
Yeah. Okay, that's kind of interesting. They're not bad together. But he says, how do grown men not eat mushrooms on their pizza? That's a great question.
Because mushrooms, the texture of mushrooms is it's like slimy bread. That's why. It doesn't make any sense. That's the last of this case.
How many have you had now today?
12. All right. Oh, this is 12. Sorry. Let's rock and roll, dude. We're going to the members section, right?
Yes. Are we? Yeah, I think so.
We are going to the members section, my friends. Come on in. The water is warm. And in fact, Kenneth the Roke just gave us a super chat in the members section for $20. Holy crap, Ken.
What?
And the message is,
thanks, Ken.
Just a little support. My man.
Oh, man. We love you, Ken. Thank you, dude. Appreciate it. Let me tell you something. You guys are super chatting us all the time. John, Ken, everybody who super chats us. Listen, we appreciate every penny. We know it's not easy. These are your hard-earned dollars, and we put it to good use. So Trust me, if you're members, and even if you're not, we're going to bring you the best content we can every single time.
Speaking of, John Burns with a parting super chat here. Actor who played Chekhov passed away. That's very true, actually. Guys, come into, if you are a member or if you want to be a member, whatever, do not leave us. Come on in to the members section. We are going to be talking about Ezra Miller's delusional Messiah complex and his compound. All great things to talk about. Star Trek needs to be more like Star Wars, according to some people. And Grace Randolph and her eventual coming around to the fact that Superman will definitely be in Black Adam.
And one more thing.
And of course, two more things.
No.
The Indiana Jones trailer footage.
Yes, we're going to show you. Nobody's seen it.
I would love to show you guys here, but we'll get removed. I can show you the member section. And we're going to be also finally covering the last episode of She-Hulk, which is hilariously unimportant. So that should be quick. At this point, our reviews are going to be like 3 minutes long.
The show is only 4.5, so it's impossible for it to be longer.
Yeah, it's crazy. Okay. Rock and roll. Oh,
are we in members now?
Shane, let me tell everyone here. So, if you got a message on our last Prime video that you won something, that wasn't real. That's some scam, channel. They literally made a channel called _Popcast. They used our logo, and they hit that video with multiple comments telling people that they won something and to go to some Telegram website. Don't go to that website. That's not us. Don't click on any link. We've already banned them. That account will not be doing that again, and we've already reported it to YouTube. But if you did click on one of those links and something bad happened, I'm truly sorry. There's no way for me to have seen that coming. But we will never ask you in a comment other than the pinned comment to click a link. Our pinned comments are from us. If those have links, go for it. Any other comment, we're never going to be like, click this link. We will never do that.
Never.
It's just too dangerous.
Yeah, and plus you guys got to remember that this is like the new way for people to attack people on YouTube and try to steal. Like we did the rant thing about, and I don't know if Ruben wants you to show his name, but.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah. But for real, like we just talked about the robocalls. Well, this on YouTube is another way. They try to get people to go to a WhatsApp. They're trying to steal your stuff.
Right.
So if you don't feel 100% that it's coming from us, and it will only ever be in the pinned comment, we will ever give you a link or in the drop down. That's us. Otherwise, don't click on nothing else. Right. We are happy to do when we do. And it sucks because we do giveaways sometimes, and we do give away prizes. And it breaks. We do not want people to get hurt. So please just only click on stuff that's from us. And as soon as we see something like that, we'll be deleting it.
David Nunn, you trying to get me in trouble, dog? Well, come on, man.
What's that?
He's trying to get me in trouble. Yeah.
Who?
So just so you guys know, the description or the pinned comment, any other place, ain't us. It's not us.
Yeah.
Sorry. Let me speak with like I understand the English language. It is not us. Okay. That said, though, if you did get scammed or whatever, like let us know. We can add that to our report to YouTube and maybe, help you out. All right, guys, we're going to the members section. Again, the link is in the description. Also, you can go to popcast.co/join and it will forward you. And when I end this stream, it's going to automatically take you there whether you're a member or not. So if you are a member, come on over. If you're not, then hopefully you can be. If not, then we will see you next week. We love you so much. Absolutely. Thank you for coming here. Thanks for supporting us. You're amazing.
Yeah. And if you're watching this later, you can still catch all the members' content is always there for the members. So it's not like you got to come live in order to see the member stuff. So feel free to come over and you can still watch that recorded. Thank you guys. Please come next week, next Thursday, every 2:00. Hopefully we're bringing good stuff. If you ever have any suggestions, send them to Brian and I. We can do it in Discord, anywhere.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. Other people do this, and I guess let's bring it up real quick. If you have news topics that you would actually like to talk about on the show, then either Twitter or Discord, hit those places up, and just at one of us and be like, "Did you guys hear about this?" or "What about this?" or "This show?" or whatever, and more than likely we'll include it because, to be real, it takes us a long time trying to find news articles that we think is cool. So if you guys have good ideas, send them over.
Well, and we want to talk about stuff that you guys want to talk about and that you want to hear. I mean, this isn't about us, so.
All right. Yeah, someone else. Someone else in Discord is also talking about the same thing. So someone.
That's not good. That's a bummer. Archmage Frey, no Andor review. We're going to Andor review tomorrow morning. We tried to do it this morning, but we just had too much going on with the new video coming out. And so we weren't able to get it in. So we're going to review it tomorrow morning on the member section, along with the Rings of Power and probably one other thing. So tomorrow's member section reviews are going to be jam-packed fun.
Yeah. Okay. We're leaving. Come on over, guys.